Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the eastern United States is going to go from a very cold pattern, considering the time of year, to an actual summer-like pattern by time we're reaching the end portion of May. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, have you been enjoying this colder pattern? Like, do you like it when it's in the 50s or 60s? Or would you prefer it to be very warm like it's going to get? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're just going to take it day by day. We're finally at that portion. If you've been watching our videos for days and days and days, we're finally at that point where we're in the coldest of the cold pattern, really, at this point here on Wednesday, May 12th, where we finally arrived at that coldest portion of it. You can see that positive PNA out west. We do know that this will come to an end, obviously, by this point, and it's honestly going to start diminishing from this point onward, because like I said, this is the worst of it, and by the time we reach Thursday, May 13th, tomorrow, it's not really much better, but it is slightly less potent. It's a little bit more or less, or maybe similar widespread here by this point. The greens are anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees below normal, so that is kind of where we're talking about the more potent cold air. Whenever you're 10 to 15 degrees below normal, that is a pretty significant departure from what is your normal temperature. Let's say your average temperature is 70. Well, you're looking at anywhere from 55 to 60 degrees. So that is, obviously a pretty... Because 70 is nice, and then obviously 55 is, when you're starting to feel kind of cold. So that's how significant it is. It changes kind of the category of temperature that you're in. Now, by the time we're reaching Friday, May 14th, this is the good news. You can see the actual diminishment of this cold air. You can see it fizzling out, kind of. We're only with the darker greens now, where we had bright greens. And it's a little bit less widespread. And also, look at that. The upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the New England states are starting to warm up by this point. So this is a real hopeful sign that we are really reaching an ending point for this. And also that positive PNA out west. You see those warmer than normal conditions move a little bit further east, more towards the Rockies. That's also a sign of that coming to an end. There's not enough warm air. I just want to explain this in a way that's just going to really drive that point home. There's not enough warm air for it to be super warm in the west, the central, and the eastern United States. That's why the positive PNA has such an impact on our weather, because if we see super warm temperatures along the west coast, what do you think is going to happen for the eastern United States? And the obvious answer is that colder air will make its way there to kind of compensate, because all the warm air is going towards the western United States. It's kind of like a balancing act, if you think about it. So by the time we're reaching Saturday, May 15th, you can see that warmer air in the west, again, moving a little bit further east, where we even see coastal California dealing with some below normal temperatures. This is a clear sign that is coming to an end. And look, those greens are almost completely gone. We're only seeing blues by this point. So this is clearly switching towards a different type of pattern. We're going to move towards Sunday in just a moment, May 16th, and that is going to really look like it's coming to an end. Real quickly, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm making a Patreon post today about the upcoming severe weather chances. Will there be any big severe weather outbreaks, or is it going to be quite quiet? I'm going to let you guys know over on that Patreon post. We're going to really break it down over there. So if you are interested, you can join today. That's going to be in the pinned comment and the description down below. And you can check that out today and be a part of the Patron end screen. Really, really cool stuff. Anyway, for Sunday, May 16th, you can see that the greens are almost completely gone, except for in California, where they are showing up. Again, another sign that positive PNA is becoming a negative PNA. But we do see some lighter blues, so near normal conditions for the eastern United States. Obviously, it has to reach this point before it can reach the above average temperatures. So this is a full, this is like the middle point of the pattern flip we're taking a look at right here. And by the time we're reaching Monday, May 17th, you can see some yellows showing up. Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, all seeing those oranges showing up. New England, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes especially as well. There's a little bit of some lighter blues around it, but that is going to be near normal. That's going to be about 1 to 3 to maybe 5 degrees below normal, which is going to be so insignificant that you're going to really not notice it. So that's the good news. We will be at a near normal pattern starting around Sunday, Monday time frame. We will transition towards a pattern like that. By the time we reach Tuesday, May 18th, a lot more folks get into the orange region there, so the warm is beginning to win out. And look at the west coast now. All blues for the western seaboard there. That is a negative PNA that is fully in place there for Tuesday, May 18th here by this point. The warm air is really centered over the Rockies and east of the Rockies. So a very significant switch from what we were seeing just a couple of frames ago. And by the time we're reaching Wednesday, May 19th, look at that. The western United States, especially the Northwest, is dealing with far below normal temperatures now. Brighter greens, which again is about 10 to 15 degrees below normal. And look at the eastern United States. You can tell that the warmer air is centered over the eastern United States, the eastern half of the country. So we have now, by the time we reached Wednesday, May 19th, we have seen a full pattern flip. And I'm happy about this because for probably about a week, I've been calling for the 20th of May to be about when I expect that pattern flip to happen. And you can see it's fully occurred by one day before what I've been saying. So I'm very, very happy about that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards the 20th and beyond. Now, here we are taking a look at the 20th of May, and that's going to be Thursday. As you can see, we get towards the peak of the warm temperatures in the east. Those temperatures up there for the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, where it's kind of brighter reds, that's where we're at about 10 to 15 degrees above normal temperatures. So like, let's say your temperature is 80, your average temperature is 80 degrees. Well, you're at about 90 degrees at that point. So that is how significant of a departure. I know your average temperature is an 80, so that's not what you'll end up having. But just as an example, if your average temperature is 70, then you're going to end up at 80 or 85 if you're 10 to 15 degrees above normal. So this is a significant departure from normal as well, equally as that cold was. Now, for the West, we still have colder than normal conditions set up for the Northwest, especially Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, where we see those bright green set up is definitely where we're seeing that significant departure from what is typical. Now, by the time we reach Friday, the 21st of May, you can see that we do have still those very warm temperatures in the east. So I think we're going to get set up into a warm pattern that is going to stick around, and it's going to be actually kind of stuck in that pattern. And that's quite typical of these patterns. They're usually very long term. We can see the Southwest has been rather warm actually for most of the time frame, and the Northwest has been very cold. The PNA takes the entire western coast of the North America region, so that's United States, Canada, even up through Alaska can have impacts on the PNA. So just to have the southwestern United States does not dictate the PNA at all. When we see Canada, the Northwest, all below normal, that is a negative PNA 100%. And we can see the effects of that because we do see the warmer than normal conditions set up over the eastern United States. That is exactly what's going on here. The Great Lakes, especially by this point, are dealing with very warm temperatures, 10 to 15 degrees above normal, even some 15 plus degrees above normal are showing up in some spots there as well. Now, by this point, we have to switch over to our ensemble model. This is going to be Wednesday, May 26th. And as you can see, we're still in that warmer pattern for the eastern United States. I mean, the western United States is warming up a little bit, but we're still kind of stuck in that warmer than normal pattern. So let's take it in 5-day increments real quick just to kind of break it down. So days 0 through 5, which is going to be Wednesday today through Monday, May 17th, we have very cold in the east, very warm in the west, kind of what we've been dealing with. And then for the 17th through the 22nd, we're in kind of a transition period. So we see mostly warm for the central United States, mostly cold for the southern United States, and then the west is kind of all over the place. But by the time we reach the 22nd through the 27th 5-day period, you can see that is when we have fully transitioned over to a warmer than normal pattern for the eastern half of the country. Although we do start to see maybe a positive PNA trying to regain itself there for the western United States. So beyond that point, for the 27th and beyond, it's kind of a question mark, in my opinion, for sure. Now, for today's confidence tab, we are at a 4 out of 6. We're still a few days away from when we see this transition happen. There are still some things that could go a little bit differently. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident in this switch from the cold pattern to the warmer pattern. Really taking place. But overall, there is still some wild cards that could take place. There is still some uncertainty there. So we're going to take that with a tiny bit of a grain of salt. But really, I do feel quite confident. Probably about 60 to 70% at this point. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys yesterday, how do you want this, or how do you think this upcoming June is going to go? And Cloud Watcher said, I think June will be warm in the east, cold in the west, because the pattern flip is right before June. So basically what Cloud Watcher is saying is since this pattern flip that we've been talking about throughout this video is happening so late in May, uh, they're thinking that basically that pattern will carry over into the month of June, and I think that's the best chance at this point because what else do we have to go off of? So good comment of the day there, very logical thinking. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Benbenek, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Larry the Pan, and Donna Carnes, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Flago, Gary's, John Quilisi, and Dwight Phelan. If you would like to be a part of this patron end screen of the day and also gain access to our awesome posts just like the one we made today, you could do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members, our Weather Top Dog, Hair Farms 1, and Catbite as well. I would like to thank all of you for supporting the channel through this as well. If you would like to join our channel membership, you can do so by clicking that button next to the subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button. Be sure to leave a comment down below to help that YouTube algorithm out. And be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.